In an apparent attempt to prove his sincerity, 8 days after Linda Sobek had disappeared, Rathbun recalled where he had buried her. He directed the search party to a steep ravine, 6,000 feet up, 40 miles from the site of the photo shoot. Buried more than a week, the remains would probably yield few clues about the factors that led to her death.
It's always been my contention that Rathbun decided to contribute to our efforts on the day that he did because he felt that the body would be so decomposed that we wouldn't be able to determine those factors.
For Detective Robinson, Rathbun's confession and suicide attempt didn't ring true. To him, the photographer was artfully controlling the investigation, meting out information too little, too late. His sudden recollection of the burial site was the latest example. Supervised by a forensic anthropologist, Robin's team carefully removed the body. Each rock from the top of the grave was numbered and cataloged. Inch by inch, soil was lifted from the grave, then sifted and analyzed. After 8 hours, investigators had their most crucial piece of evidence. 2 feet down, they found Sobek. Much to their surprise, the elements had spared her.
There was very little degradation, and I think due to the coldness and that altitude and the ravine that she was buried in had such minimal amount of sun exposure, she essentially was refrigerated for those 9 days.
Investigators surveyed the body. Had the victim been struck by a car, she would have had knee-level injuries. Her legs showed no broken bones or abrasions, but they did bear severe ligature marks. It appeared she'd been bound around the ankles. The condition of her clothes also suggested something more than a luckless accident and hasty burial.
Most women are probably comfortable wearing a zip top somewhere maybe in the center of their chest. And Linda's clothing was zipped all the way up to the base of her neck. I thought that's a very unnatural position, and to me, when you see clothing that has a bit of an unnatural position, it indicates the possibility that there may have been some redress or some alteration of the clothing.
The unnatural position of her clothes suggested that Rathbun had dressed her, possibly after her death. And apparently, by trying to wipe away evidence, Rathbun inadvertently created a second clue that revealed he wasn't telling the full story.
She was a model. She wore makeup. She was on a photo shoot. And when she was recovered from that grave, there was a complete absence of any makeup or any residues thereof that we could detect in the crime scene. And that concerned me also.
The condition of her clothing, makeup, and the marks around her ankles suggested that the victim wasn't just standing around before she died. Something else was going on, and it pointed to murder.